We are Last Call Legend, your favorite cover band's favorite cover band.
We talk about mental health with people who work in the music industry.
Our goal is to help artists overcome the inner challenges of being a creator.
If you know someone who might enjoy these talks, we'd love if you shared our podcast with them. Today's topic
is Hot Topic. Solo, baby. Just two quirked up white boys talking.
Hey, listen. When I was in high school, at Christmas, my parents, they'd give us a little bit of money, and the day after Christmas, we'd go to the mall, and I'd buy my 2 pairs of jeans for the year. I'd get a black pair, and I'd get a blue pair of the tightest skinny jeans you could get at Hot Topic. So shout out to Hot Topic. Listen, this podcast, it's about mental health and music. And if you like music and have mental illness, you shop at Hot Topic.
You love
baby.
Hot Topic. It's a hot topic. It's the flavor of the month, dude. I still got my Deftones t-shirt. Like,
Bro.
I'm not playing around, dude. They had the little sex shops in the back.
Yeah. You ever go to Spencer? If you went to Hot Topic, you went to Spencer's. Come on.
Spencer's was weird, though, because you could not, like, get away from that stuff. Like, because you would go in there because you were, like, 16, and they would be like, you guys want dildos?
Dude, I remember one time I was in Spencer's and somebody had been stealing lighters and they made us empty our pocket. It wasn't me. And they made us empty. I got violated in the Spencer's, dude. He searched us with a dildo, double-sided. He was like, empty your pockets. And I was like, what do you mean? Why are you holding that?
Hey, watch where you're swinging that thing.
Spencer's is kind of unhinged, though.
Yeah.
Who is Spencer? Like, is he okay?
Spencer's is weird, too, because it's like, I wanted to sit on here and talk about politics today and be like, what the heck is going on? But the reason why it's weird and the reason why it relates to that is because, like, it was definitely, like, some MAGA bullshit of, like, the resistance movement. Like, it was, like, punk rock MAGA, you know? Like, it would be like, I like butt stuff. On a bumper sticker, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Do MAGA people like that?
I mean, they like...
They like bumper stickers.
Yeah, and they like being, like, counterculture.
Right.
Or whatever they consider to be counterculture.
No, what's interesting is, on both sides of the coin, it's always... The biggest demographic for bumper stickers is extremists. You have, like, hands off my gun or, like, coexist.
Yeah, dude.
I'd like to see a car that has both. Maybe it's got to be mine, dude. Maybe we got to put it on the Hyundai Tucson, dude.
Well, stuff like that actually matters, though, and that's what, like, grinds my gears, dude, because I've seen, like, way too many people who are, like, down with the movement be like, hey, do you guys see this? Like, I'm out here. Where are you guys? You guys aren't out here? You guys are idiots. Like, people who are, like, going to protest now and stuff, you know? Very performative. Like, very much, like...
We're performers. We get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everybody has the stages that we have, so we have to respect the street performers, too. We performed in the street. Hey, we busked. We did. And we did it the right way. We did it Uncle Sam's way. We paid $100 for our license, and we made $60.
Exactly.
So
how much money can we not lose?
That's the Last Call Legend way, dude. We put these outfits on a credit card because people said you gotta clean up your act.
You gotta button it up,
and
baby.
They were like, hey, the muscle tees, you're scaring the kids,
dude. That's another thing. I'm like in this never-ending conversation with all these comments. Like, this guy was like, maybe if you guys played some music instead of doing terrible stand-up, then more people would come. But I was like, the people that were there were already there, and, like, we were appreciating the time that we spent with them, and, like...
Listen, hey, if you got a problem with the show, come to the show and we'll fix it on the spot for you. We make music for the people. We make comedy for the people.
Exactly. We're for the people, dude. And it's like, that's the thing, too, is, like... Come to the show.
Come to the show.
What's up?
And I'll wrestle you on stage.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll give you a bear hug.
Or, like, let me go to your gig.
Oh, wait, you don't have one. We got more.
We're going to go there.
I'm going to go there. Oh, that's a reaction bit, okay? But here's the deal. I got more gigs than I want, and I only work 4 times a month. Come on, buddy. Settle down. I'm working myself to the bone. 4 hours a week. I'm fucking exhausted.
I'm dying here.
I barely could make it here today. We had to start the podcast late because I was getting the Sandman left too much fucking crusties in my eye, bro. I had to get a power washer to get them out.
I'm making overtime pay, dude.
Dude, I'm making we're losing more money than you could ever imagine, dude.
We're losing more money than we're even spending. So I don't know.
Listen, it's like I haven't paid my taxes in 4 years, and it's like that stuff piles up, you know? But I didn't make any money, though, so actually the government owes me money.
Yeah.
They're like, how can you lose this much? I'm like, tell me about it.
It's the Last Call Legend way, baby. Last night was cool, though.
We had a great show. I got a thumbs up from the manager.
Yeah, we reverse opened for Haley Mae Campbell. Shout out.
Yeah. We tail end open.
That's what I'm
I
talking
tailgated
about.
the show outside.
Hey.
Me and they wanted us in the 3-piece suit, as they often do. So we had to show up early to do a little bit of marketing, and let's just say we ate more hot dogs before the show than I'd like to eat before the show.
My tummy hurt, and I still had to do the Benson Boone backflip, dude.
Yeah, dude.
They want us in the 3-piece suit.
I don't know how. I mean, I often do this to myself, but there's a portion of the show where we chug a drink, and usually we chug 2 separate drinks. And I looked at my drink, and I was like, there's just too much liquid in that. And then I looked at Evan's, and it was like at the same amount. And I was like, we'll do it together. And I just put the straw in, and the crowd got to me. And so I ended up drinking Evan's whole fucking drink. And I was like, I'm not going to chug like the whole thing. We'll split it. But they were like, do it. And I was just like,
dude.
All right.
It's a reaction bit.
Yeah.
When they put you on the stage, like, you just start acting.
Listen, this is what's crazy. They had me, they forced me to chug it, and then I burp into the mic, and they're like, ew. And I'm like, you made me do that. I'm like, do my bodily functions not matter to you? Like, I'm up here gyrating for 4 hours, and I can't burp in my mic?
It's like, dude, you got to let off some steam, man.
Tell me about it, stud.
I mean, we're in a spot where, like, I don't know. That's how I feel about, like, the internet stuff too. You know, I've seen a couple of things recently where it's like these guys are like Steve sent me a couple of things of like dudes that are like doing mashups, and I was just like, man, like, I need to get their auto-tune guy on like speed dial, dude. I'm almost in the spot now where like I'm absorbing so much content. This is what I wanted to talk about too, postmodernism, dude. And hyper reality, dude.
Wow.
Because people don't even accept things anymore unless they're like hyper real, you know? Like if we just straight up like sing into a microphone, like people would be like, wait a second, like that doesn't sound like Abbey Road.
Right.
Like,
I mean, when you're saying the word hyper, I can't help but think I was just listening to a podcast and they were talking about hyper pop and Sophie. And there's this reference, like techno was labeled like this, that techno sounded like you're like changing the channels, or like multiple, like the Prodigy sounded like multiple TV channels over each other.
yeah.
And hyper pop is definitely, it's a reaction to the cult, like to social media culture, where it's like, now we're here, now we're there.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that? You're a big Sophie guy.
I'm a huge Sophie guy. But I don't know. Like, that's how I feel. Like, honestly, that's the thing is, like, when that crossed over into, like, kind of the mainstream, like, you could argue that there's a lot more things that people sit and listen to, but, like, it was like Brat, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And people were like, oh, because Charlie won, like, Songwriter of the Year or something. And everybody was just like, oh, this is so silly. Like, the lyrics are, like, so trite. And it's just like, no, dude, this is the culture that you created. Mm-hmm. And, like, she's actually coming at it from like a tongue-in-cheek, like artful perspective. Like I said last night, dude, like I only play an idiot online. Like
Right.
people have thoughts and feelings and emotions, and everybody does. And I don't know, people are just like, well, my thoughts are better, and I work in finance.
And what's funny is I only play an intellectual online, and I'm an idiot in real life. That's why we're such a good partnership. I know people think I'm the brains of the operation, and guys, I'm actually just the brawn.
It's gotta be. It's the sweater vest, dude. That's what it is.
It's the chain, dude.
It's the chain, dude.
But yeah, I think like with the hyper pop and all this stuff, it's just I think what's cool, like we get so like pop, like one thing that bothers me always is like the music that comes out now is shitty and like old music is good. And I just got like a record player set up and I've been listening to tons of music, and that's so cool because you listen to music different on a record than you do on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like hyperpop is just a reflection of the culture, and I don't understand when people get upset about art or people's reflection of the culture. Like if it's not your reflection, there's different art for you, but there's nothing wrong with hyperpop or
Yeah. And also, okay, this is like a bit of a tangent, but I was watching a documentary on NFTs, and they were talking about Beeple.
riveting stuff.
Exactly. But Beeple was like the like figurehead of the NFT movement. Like he was like super high art stuff, like actually making like really good art, you know? And like obviously because he was like on the blockchain, like pretty much his whole story was like he made like 3D renders he made one a day for 5,000 days. And like he got really good at it. But like people will see that and they will like grab the TMZ headline and just be like, oh, like these people are so dumb. Like they're paying for like pictures that you can like right click and save, you know? But it's like, why do you understand and respect and appreciate Warhol, but you can't do the same thing with Beeple? Because the medium is like online and you're like, no, that's not real. And I think that's the reason why, like, to me, like people not understanding postmodernism, hyperreality, I'm like, these are ideas that came out of like the 60s. Like this was so long ago.
This is like the George Jetson type.
Exactly. And it's like that's where I'm at, like with music and stuff, and why I feel like I'm really actually, you know, jaded and kind of antagonistic towards that idea, because like people will be like, yo, like the end all be all of things is like the Rolling Stones. And it's like, if you go to a Rolling Stones show now, or if you went like 50 years ago, like they're messy.
Yeah, they're but I guess that's why they're so popular, because they're imperfect. Which is kind of to bring it back around what you were saying with online we need all this perfection. But I would say what's cool, and it took me a long time because being studying the craft of musicianship, to come around and be like, there's a tool called auto-tune, or like Post Malone kind of changed my idea with that. He's like, I'm really good at singing with auto-tune. And it's very true. You don't have to be perfect. You can, this is like over and over again. Right now, the big debate is like ChatGPT or not. And so many people are like, fuck that, I'm actually smart. And it's like, here, this is the artist proverb. At one point in time, people could only paint inside because they had to mix the paints and they would dry out. And then they put paint in aluminum tubes, and the people that used the aluminum tubes, they went outside and they made brighter paintings. And like,
right,
you have to just understand what is a tool that you can utilize for creation and what is
right
not.
And they had more prolific lives, you know? Like Monet was like painting like 5 pieces a day.
Right.
Like he was just like, yeah. And he just loved like the craft and the medium, you know? And people also like loved it too.
Right.
You know? So, but that's what kind of makes me mad is like the Rolling Stones, like they get lauded for their imperfection. And that's the same reason why people hate us.
Right. Yeah. People hate our imperfections, but they love Mick Jagger's. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, what the hell?
What the hell?
I can gyrate, dude. I can
Dude,
do the Benson Boone.
I can
dude.
fucking.
Yeah.
I can do the fucking. I can point fingers, you know?
Yeah. Dude, it's not cool, man. And
Diet Coke.
yeah, I mean, I guess
We need that's the fucking accent, dude. If we had British accents, we could do whatever the fuck
yeah,
we
we'd
wanted.
be unstoppable, dude.
If I was like, I'm an intellectual, I drink smart water, and people would be like, this guy's fucking hilarious. But instead, I'm like, they're like, this guy's an idiot. I want to fight him.
Yeah, exactly. Which I mean, maybe we do have to just like fight our way to the top.
Maybe we
but-
just need that. So we should start practicing accents, dude.
Yeah,
Let me-
I agree.
Let me hear your
agree.
Chinese accent right now. What I don't understand is like, for some reason, like, you can't do an Asian accent right now. It's like, it's dangerous. I'm not gonna do one. I wouldn't do one. I never would do one even behind closed doors because
Yeah.
I'm woke. But right now, it's you getting hot water,
Yeah. What's up with these tariffs, man?
dude. I don't know, man. It's
One
Hey,
day there's
wait,
tariffs.
let me say
one day
this.
there's no tariffs.
this is what I think. Stop Asian hate, dude.
Hey,
Bring the accent back. No, I'm just kidding. We gotta edit this part out. God damn it. This is why people won't let me make mistakes, because my mistakes are
because you make pretty bad mistakes.
because they're grandiose.
Yeah.
Hey, big risk, big reward. You know what I'm saying?
You got to do it. How do you fix your mistakes, though?
If you crash out, you gotta crash back in. I'll tell you this. I got in a little hot water, you know, and it's like
Did you?
I've gotten in hot water a few times, but listen, the same hot water that softens the potato hardens the egg, you know? And I'm not going to tell you what to do with that information because I haven't figured it out myself, but just let the wheels spin. Ponder that. Listen, I'm a, what's the word that I'm looking for? I've got a certain je ne sais quoi.
C'est quoi?
No, I'm a reaction comic, you know.
Yeah.
So
You just wait until they get mad.
no,
It's like, here's the new thing. I mean, it's postmodern. Like, we don't do this for laughs. We do it to incite anger in people.
well, it's funny because we first were like, hey, let's go on the internet. Let's take the skills that we paid $100,000 to acquire, and let's share our gift with the world, and let's make the world a better place. And we go and we're like, no, you know, and people are just like,
Yeah.
I want to wring your neck out. Like, who let you get a camera and sing?
Yeah.
And then we're just like, oh, okay, so people just hate us on the internet, so we'll just rage bait them.
right.
So if you don't like what you're seeing, stop raging in the comment section, and we'll be nice boys.
Stop being so mad. Yeah, we could do some real buttoned up stuff. Like I've been known to tune my instrument from time to time on rare occasion.
Once
and
a year.
I can do that. Yeah, exactly. Once a year I tune my guitar. But besides that,
I stopped tuning my guitar. I just auto tune it in post now.
exactly. Besides that, it's just real. Like, this is like what's happening. And again, like, we are actually kind of reacting to the reaction, you know?
Right. It's so, dude, we're so meta.
It's hard to not get a little bit of like inflammation when you like wake up first thing in the morning and people are like, not even like skip, because they used to be like skip, and then you'd be like, ah, man, like they don't even know I exist.
Right.
But now they really know I exist, and they really don't like it.
I prefer that. I hate being ignored.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're being ignored, you're not like doing your job right.
Right.
Really. But I'm like also like speaking on hyperreality, like postmodernism, dude. Like I saw like a Blink bit. And I was just like, okay, this is kind of analogous to that. Like literally what we were doing, what we do every night was like, has already been done before by a band that was popular 30 years ago.
Right.
And it's still popular. And
Still doing that
part of
bit.
the reason why they're popular is because they are doing that bit. Like, at what point did they tell them to stop? Which I'm sure there's a lot of people still being like, hey, you guys shouldn't do this.
Totally. There's a video of them in, like, I think it's 1999. They're playing in Australia at this festival called Big Day Out, and Tom goes on the mic and he just like says something really stupid and he's like swearing, and then he just like looks to the side and he just goes like, that was bad. Like, you know, like they knew, like he knew he like just did a bad job and that it was like super inappropriate and stupid. But like, and I guess we've talked about this too, like you have to find your resonation point with the universe maybe, or the culture, because when we go as inappropriate as Blink-182 does, because again, that was the 90s, we get flamed for it. Like, we almost lost the gig because I was saying too many inappropriate things.
Yeah.
Because I was repeating a chant that the audience started.
Yeah.
But, like, you have to, and that, I guess, like, what I was saying about like how I'm reactionary is like, I guess I find the line often by crossing it, unfortunately for myself and the people around me, but I'm finding my place in the culture. And like one of the things that you said is like I've seen guys who do what we do kind of have this thing where they're like antagonistic towards the crowd. There's a little bit of like, hey, like there's a push and pull of like, oh, if you're going to be aggressive with me, I'll be aggressive back. And for whatever reason, when I do that, it's just not accepted well. People prefer that me and you are like kind and loving.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I'd rather be that I'd rather do that than fight with people. But
yeah.
But
there's a line where it's like, okay, we want you to be nice guys in sweater vests so that we can walk all over you and basically be like, hey, I'm going to show you how to run this show, you know? And it's like, okay, like I am like really being nice and really opening myself up and really like allowing myself to be vulnerable, try new things, like fail in the process. And I'm asking you for your permission to come with me on that journey. And that's why people are so callous towards it, because the hero's journey is not easy and they don't want to go and do that thing. Like if you accept the Lord into your heart and follow Last Call Legend on social media, then you will start your journey.
Last Call Legend band. At Last Call Legend band.
And you will start your journey and you will start to be like, oh, okay, like it's okay to like do this and that, dude. Like I said, posterity's sake, dude. I post every video, like whether there's like, I love the videos where there's no one in the crowd, like, cause it's funny and it's cool. And it's like, it's good to see, like, that's some stuff that like, if somebody were in the craft, I would want to show them and be like, oh, my OG, like they did this and like, they didn't have any help. They didn't have any support. Nobody was there for them. Like, which is not true. Like everybody is there for us. And like, we are building an amazing community, I believe, you know, it's just like, we just like do get a lot of detractors because like, we are like, again, allowing ourselves to open up and be vulnerable. And people are like not receptive to that because they are, really what it is more than anything is just like our brand just doesn't resonate with them, and that's fine.
I think part of it too is like we've spent so much time, high pressure time together, like in these gig opportunities, that what we bring to the stage is sort of the energy of like a sleepover with your friends where it's like super wacky and uninhibited. And I think that like at first it's weird to see people in their own cringe, like silliness. But the people that like go, oh, the whole point is like I'm allowed to be free too. So it's really uncomfortable. If you're not ready to be free, you're going to be like, stop being weird. Like judgment is a protection from you, like for you from yourself.
Right.
But I think this is the thing too, is like people don't realize that people think if you take the analogy of like a bear, right? people think that they're petting the bear, but they have been overserved and they are poking the bear. And so when the bear, meaning us, shows its teeth and its claws and go like, hey, don't fucking poke me for the 150th time. I'm not going to play Mr. Brightside at the beginning of our set.
Right.
And like, they go, what the hell? Like, why are you showing me your teeth? It's like, because you don't realize that you're like antagonizing us. But at the same time, whatever. For show.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the gig, though.
Yeah. And that's just like what we have to learn, that like we can't take the criticisms of other people. I think the takeaway is this. It's like we have a critic inside of our head. And if the critics outside of you start to resonate with the critic inside of your head, it'll drive you insane. But if you get your inner monologue positive enough, you won't, like when somebody goes, you suck, you'll be like, oh, you're wrong. Instead of being like, no, fuck you, I'm trying my hardest.
Yeah. Well, it's like, why do we celebrate the fact that people drove Van Gogh to suicide? You know?
Yeah.
Like, we're like, yeah. Like, in our culture, we're like, look at what really dogged dedication can get you. Like, you can give the world Starry Night, like one of the most profound pieces of visual art to ever exist in the canon, and like, we will not take it. Like, do not give us Starry Night unless you are willing to sacrifice yourself to us. Like, why is that cool? That's not cool. Like, we should be like, hey, like, when the kid hands you the drawing, you put it up on the fridge. Like, you don't say like, yo, like,
draw inside the line.
or you could, man. Like, you'll be
If you're
like,
Gary
yo.
V. Gary V's like, I'm gonna beat my daughter in every basketball game we ever play, so she knows that the world's not fair.
Right. It's just like, right. And then you want to talk about like
$100,000 of therapy sessions for the rest of her life.
just like, oh yeah, like I'm an empath, dude. But what the heck was going on? Like, do you think that like, because that's the story they tell us. They tell us like a lie, and they're just like, yeah, like Kurt Cobain, Van Gogh, like they like
Mozart.
had to commit suicide. Like, there was no other option for them because like they were too woke.
Well, like I was watching Amadeus, which is about Mozart, and he died when he was 35, maybe of typhoid. It sounds like he probably had he had some liver issues. He had like jaundice, like his symptoms, but there's like this storyline that the Requiem that he wrote killed him, that his art killed him. And I think the whole reason we're doing this podcast and talking about mental health up at the front of, we're not like well known, we're not successful, but we will be because we are dedicated. But the thing is this, we're not going like, I'm miserable and I'm suffering and at least my art is good and it will kill me. We're going like, no, our best art and the longevity will be created from sustainability. And although we have these people who were like shot out of the cannon with great work and it seems that the work killed them, there's a thin line. Like, as an artist, I think, or as a person, you have to accept your responsibility. Like, I've been the suffering artist who's like, nobody gets me, like the art, blah, 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 it gets all confused. But like, there is a lot of critical people out there. Just remember that the people that are criticizing you, that's their internal monologue leaking out of them. So don't let that external monologue become your internal monologue and kill you, because we need you here, baby. We need to see the long, like so many of my, like what would have, Nirvana like has 3-4 albums. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, they were just getting started. Like Mac Miller, dude. Mac Miller's one of the last albums, like some of the songs that were released posthumously were my favorite Mac Miller songs. And he was going from being a rapper to a songwriter. And it's like, don't let that be you. Like, instead of going on the internet and shitting on people, go like message the people that are doing what you want to do and be like, how do you do it? It's a way more productive. It feels way better. Like on our end, like the people that hit us up and go like, hey, I see you have like a wireless system. What are you doing?
Right.
Like, we are glad to share that.
Yeah. And dude, honestly, something as simple as like the bits, dude, everything we do, it's just like, steal this, steal the music, steal the transitions, steal the interludes, steal the jokes, dude.
Steal the outfits.
Steal the outfits, because it's like, if you can just do that, and like, if you do that, you're holding us accountable, and it's going to make like a drop in the ocean, like it lifts all the boats, you know?
Wow.
So I want to make...
That's how we end. A drop in the ocean lifts all the boats. What do you want to make?
I want to make everybody the best that they could possibly be. And I want people to challenge me earnestly and honestly, and not just hating for the sake of hating. If you have something to say about how we can improve our show that's actually constructive, hit up Last Call Legend Band.
All right, bro, I got a challenge for you. Arm wrestle.
Let's go, baby.
1, 2, 3. It's a tie. You see, sometimes in life, nobody needs to lose. We love you.
Woo!